Keys to a Kings victory tonight. Looks like D'Lo is going to be pulling up. So let's rip through these real quick. James Ham, what is your first key to a Kings victory?
Kyle, if I was prepared, I would know exactly what my keys are. Oh, rinse and repeat.
That's what it says.
Rinse and repeat.
Damien's here. Hey, Damien, I messed up the clocks today, so we have like 4 minutes. It's not 4. It's not 4. Our out is at 54:32. So we only got a few minutes.
All right.
Rinse and repeat was your first key.
Yeah, you took care of a bad team last night. Take care of another bad team tonight.
Yep. I have number one for me. Don't let Corey Kispert get going.
Oh.
Don't let him cook.
That's a random one.
He's the kind of guy that'll hit 9 threes against the Kings.
You're a big Corey Kispert guy.
No, I'm not. I just know he can knock down a 3. Number 2.
Bring the same defensive intensity for the 6th straight game.
Yeah.
Is it more than a trend, Kyle?
It is when Keon Ellis is in the lineup. Right. It's Keegan time. I need Keegan Murray to do something. I didn't get to do my whole thing on Keegan Murray today, but we'll do it tomorrow. Number 3.
Number 3, no excuses. This is a chance for win number 41 and a second straight 500 season. This would only be the 10th time in Sacramento Kings history since they moved to Sacramento in 1985 that they would have a 500 record.
Damian Barling in the building, everybody. It's time for the handoff. Key number 3 for me. I don't know how much time you spend in DC, the both of you, but there's a restaurant called Medium Rare.
Mm-hmm.
And at Medium Rare, are you familiar with Medium Rare? It's a prefix menu. And you pull up, and it's steak and fries and this delicious little vat of gravy. And you sit down, and they go, what do you want to drink? And you tell them, and they go, how do you like your meat cooked? And you tell them, they write it on the table, and then they come back, they give you steak and fries. And about the time you're finishing up that delicious steak and fries, they come back with a second order of steak and fries.
What?
Yes. My wife and I ate like kings, and we're out of there for like $75 after tip.
I've not been to Washington.
Medium Rare, bro.
Okay. You've never been to DC?
No, I haven't been.
Oh my God, you would love it.
Yeah,
yeah,
DC is legit. DC is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, because I'm a big history guy, and
you'd love it.
Yeah, I haven't been there for all the history stuff.
We were watching Mysteries at the Museum. Great program, by the way. On I think it's Discovery Plus is the app we watch it on. We were watching it one night, figuring out where we wanted to go on our honeymoon, and it's just this show. They go around to different museums and do deep dives on artifacts, and we were like, we should go to DC because there's a lot of museums there.
Oh yeah,
and then we ended up loving the city.
On your honeymoon.
On our honeymoon.
Spectacular. And it rained, I think, most of the time.
It rained the first day. Yeah, the day we walked the monuments. Yeah, pouring rain. It's a great time, though.
Time last year, right?
2 years.
We had been married for 2 years.
2 years.
May. We ended up going May. Yeah, just after cherry blossom season.
Got you.
Tough scene.
Yes, that's a big time in DC.
Yeah. No, it's great. Good Kings win last night. Boring.
Great.
Well, boring.
Which is what everyone wanted, right? Like we don't get those very often. I think Kenny looked up the last time. Obviously they beat Denver, which is fantastic, but everybody was on their edge of their seat whether they were going to be able to hold on to that lead, even when it got to like 30. The last time they beat a team like Toronto, and Toronto's obviously better than what we saw last night, but they're dealing with so many different things right now. You can't really fault them for what that looked like. Was Charlotte in January. So, that's what the game should have been. Exactly what we saw.
Not including the Bucks game.
No, a bad team. Talking about beating a bad team.
Gotcha.
It's great they beat. You beat good teams, but again, with those teams, especially with a guy like Dame Lillard, Jamal Murray, guys who can score so quick, you're kind of like, oh man, the lead's down to 20. Crap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, call timeout, Mike. Oh, the lead's down to 17, and you're just begging for a basket to slow things down. And I feel like with what we saw yesterday, with what we've seen the last couple of games, the Kings are playing good basketball, and it has to continue tonight. So there's not too much. Hey, we've turned this thing around. Get the job done tonight, because Washington is legitimately the worst team in the league, and they're a very different type of bad team than Toronto is. So take care. I feel good about where they're at, but we'll keep it moving.
I have a fun thing about the Wizards. Remember the Kyle Kuzma tweet after the Pistons lost to the Celtics in overtime for their 28th consecutive loss?
Don't want to be that team.
And Kyle Kuzma quote tweeted the score and was like, at this point, it's like, just don't be that team.
Yep.
Since then, the Detroit Pistons are 10-28.
Oh man.
The Washington Wizards are 6-33.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be bad. That's tough. and now you don't want to be that team.
Now you don't want to be the Wizards.
Yeah.
Are they the
Don't.
best 11-win team in the NBA? Kyle?
The Wizards
Many
or
are asking.
or the Pistons.
The Pistons have 12 wins. The Pistons are
Oh,
now better
Pistons.
than the Wizards.
Yeah,
Many are.
shoot,
That's a
shoot,
tough
shoot.
scene, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a tough
That's
scene.
crazy. I don't think the dumbest part in this obviously isn't I don't think Detroit's that bad. Like they're not a 12-win basketball team. They
I
have
think I agree
players
with you.
that like they need some, obviously their talent's a little behind for sure, but they're not. To me, that Detroit team is not 12-win bad.
No, and they didn't think that. That's why they hired and paid Monty Williams.
Right.
Like they thought they were going to be
Better than
a
this.
team.
But they
Yeah.
also they tied Monty there for like 42 years, so he can't leave.
I think it was 41.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
it's a
get that
lot
right.
of years. So it's like, hey, we're gonna you'll be able to get us through this. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, it's just like you look at the roster. It's like Cade Cunningham. Okay, Cade can play. Jaden Ivey. Okay, hey, Jaden Ivey can play.
Jaden's
Jalen
really breaking out this year.
Jalen Duren. I
Jalen
like Jalen
Duren.
Duren a lot. Like
Oof.
they have a legitimate.
They're young. Like
Yeah,
all
a
those
Thompson
guys are
twin.
really young.
Sora Thompson. He can play. Yeah, they just have.
He can play, but he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out, right? Isn't
Is
that
he
the
out?
twin that's out for the season?
yeah, he's out. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now he is. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, you just kind of went into this year like, oh man, maybe Pistons.
No,
And
they've
just-
got to grow a little bit. They need some veterans there to kind of tie things together. But that's a team that'll be much better next year. But what exactly much better means for them doesn't mean like 24 wins, 25 wins, 26 wins.
Mhm.
They're not going to be a win in the teens next year again.
Big key for me will be not losing 28 in a row.
That's
Write that
strong,
one
but
down.
you can see you can lose 28 in a row and still not be the worst team in basketball.
Shout out to the Wizards.
that's
Yeah.
true. I'm
Man.
excited for the Jordan Poole Keon Ellis matchup.
Me too. Can't wait for that
Oh,
one.
God, Keon is going to make Jordan Poole so miserable.
It's going to be a good watch.
He's going to
I'm-
make him so
I'm
miserable.
excited for it. D'Lo and Casey coming up next on ESPN 1320 Sacramento Sports Leader.